If Drake don't own part of her podcast, I think he's an idiot.
Those are some strong words.
You got to realize that hip hop and urban culture has dejected this woman. They don't like her. They think she's condescending, ear-headed. They feel she's getting opportunities she doesn't deserve. They feel, even in whatever resolve they had with the Yachty situation, they feel like she's talking down to black artists who maybe she's looking at as, oh, y'all are stupid or y'all do silly shit. And it's one of the, those condescending type of things. I think Drake is shrewd enough to understand that. And if he continues to do stuff with her or he's relaunching stuff with her, it gotta be a money play.
He don't care. He doesn't care. The that you trick yourself into thinking that Drake cares about when it comes to the rap culture, he doesn't care about it that much beyond the money play and beyond what it does for him personally. He doesn't care. Oh man, so Drake announced that he was going to be doing a podcast with Bobbi Althoff again, and everyone was going crazy. They was going crazy in reaction. Of course, the Kendrick Lamar fans and people that don't like Drake were saying, hey, look, once again, he's doing something that's with someone that's not from the culture, that's not an actual hip-hop journalist and shit. And I ain't gonna lie. I just chuckled when I seen this shit and kept it strolling because this is on brand for Drake. I didn't give a damn, but I seen other people covering it and became content for some other folks, but I wasn't going to cover this at all until it became comedy for me. But as you can see, Peter Rosenberg was like, why in reaction to this? And I'm like, look, bruh, I think he's corny too, man. But how many times are we going to act confused? Sorry about the storming out there. It's going crazy in Miami right now. Thank you, because it's been hot as hell. It's been hot as hell, so we need the rain. But I was just like, bro, how many times are we going to act confused by a corny nigga being corny, dog? We don't have to react to every single thing that Drake does. Because listen, I cover some things Drake does because I cover hip hop and pop culture. Those are a few of my niches, so I try to keep up with one of the biggest artists in hip hop and the stories that I find big enough to keep you guys updated with what's going on in the culture, alright? I just happen to speak candidly once we get to the opinion section of my content. So if I don't agree with something that Drake did, I'm going to tell my goddamn truth. I do it with Nicki Minaj and I love Nicki Minaj. And the bars be upset with me. I do the same shit with Cardi B and Barty Gang don't really get mad at me for that. They defend their girl in the comment section and keep it pushing. But I also critique Lil Wayne, and I was a damn Lil Wayne stan. I'm more like a fan now, but he in my top 5 regardless, and I critique him like a. So I cover hip hop in totality. I cover the ins and outs, but some folks, I ain't gonna lie, they run the Drake hate into the ground and cover every little thing and get upset about every move he makes, and I be like, damn, dog. Once again, him doing the podcast with Bobbi Althoff is on brand. It's the perfect amount of corny that I'm used to for Drake, and I will not be watching it like I don't watch a lot of the corny shit that he does. But once again, media personalities are upset, especially the interview-driven ones, because in their mind, someone like them should be getting that look instead of Bobbi Althoff. But I don't do interviews right now, so I guess I don't give a damn because of that. But I am here for the laughs, though. That's why we covering this video, for the laughs. So I don't know, man. I feel like, my bad, but I feel like Akademiks must have been slipped a truth serum or something lately when it comes to Drake. Now he's been keeping it chill as possible, as chill as possible, because he still like Drake and that's the side that he chose. But if there was another rapper doing the moves that Drake is making, Akademiks will be slaughtering the ass right now, dog. But it's interesting to hear him tell these truths. I want y'all to tell me y'all opinion. Do you think Akademiks is being so truthful as far as what you think about Drake's moves because he possibly is upset that he's not getting an interview from Drake? I'm hearing that perspective, but let's see what Ak gotta say.
It popped up with Drake on the last one. She pops up with Drake again, and she says not this again. And by the way, it was a joint post, so Drake and her posted it. Let's watch. Is the audio on? I think it is.
Welcome to a much more refined, poised.
Hold the on. Hold the hell on. Did he hear Drake's voice and say ooh?
Welcome to a much more refined.
Let me just skip to the part that we need to talk about.
I think it's clear to say, and I'm gonna sit here and speak to y'all very openly, honestly, because I do hear a lot of not even rumblings, but there's a loud echo and a loud noise saying, "Yo, Drake, my brother, I think you're not reading the room here. You just went through one of the most horrifying rap battles of life, and the entire premise was trying to show or trying to say you're not someone of the culture, and you keep doing content with people who seemingly are not within hip hop." Okay? And I completely understand that. And by the way, I do kind of look at Drake like, bad timing again. Now, honestly, I think this is a great business move. I just think it's bad timing. I think Drake, like, again, I could be wrong. I haven't asked him about it. It's no way he doesn't own a part of this podcast or the company that owns this podcast or is giving this woman an opportunity. With all due respect, Bobbi Althoff is not a talented person. With all due respect. There is a lane for her to flourish, but especially within the lane that she is trying to cannibalize off of, without Drake walking her through the door, now, not once, but twice, she is not as effective. No one really wants to sit with her. She comes across as either condescending or absent-minded. She doesn't do great interviews, but you are doing what we've accused Jay of doing. Giving someone a cultural key that maybe we don't think should even be a cultural visitor. So now you've told them they could live here. Drake has to, like, and I've spoken to many people about it. They're like, yo.
Question. Does Drake have a cultural key anymore? Does he have a cultural key anymore? I think Drake, especially right now, his power does not transcend from his features anymore at this very given time. I don't think it does that anymore. Probably 5 years ago, that Central C record would have went top 5. That record he did with Smiley, y'all probably forgot about that. He did a record with Smiley, and that shit didn't really make any noise. It didn't put him, like, it didn't do what that song with Baka did, like, almost 10 years ago. I don't even know Drake was on it when he wrote it. But for certain people, if they don't already have the motion, right now, I don't think Drake could start their career. Right now. I don't know about that right now. Culturally, he's not cool enough for that right now. He's still Drake, but he's having a tough time. Like, you know, that girl on this album, the Pimmy girl, I think it was Pimmy or some shit like that. Years ago, she probably would have had a good launch to a career on some Georgia Smith type shit, on some Sanford type shit. It's a lot of people that had that sound that Drake helped boost their career years ago. Now she only is 1 million and some change monthly listeners on Spotify, and that's mainly just that song right there. That's on Drake's album, which is very, very good in my opinion. I like that song, but I would expect a moment to follow after that. So I don't know if Drake has that power at this moment. I'm not saying that he won't get it again, because you never know what may happen, but I don't know if he has that power to hand over the cultural key. Now, does that mean that this won't perform well? It can perform well because Drake is a huge international artist. He has a big fan base, so even if something doesn't connect culturally, you know, it can still perform well commercially. Those are two different things.
Oh, no, Drake must be trying to f her. If Drake is doing this to try to f this chick, he's too horny. No, it's too great. No, it's too horny. He has to own part of her podcast or the network that's publishing her podcast. Otherwise, nothing makes sense.
I think they both with WME. The same management or agent company, whatever the name of that team is, and they have some partnership business similar to that. It's similar to Drake's working relationship with Sexy Red. It's similar to that. You know, just someone he's cool with, connected with, and he's just looking out for that person.
I will stick on that. Again, I would rather, and I hear the rumblings of people saying, no, Drake is just avoiding hip hop press. Like, people are like, well, yeah, he ain't gonna do nothing with you, Maul, or nobody else. He's just avoiding y'all because you don't want to answer the questions. I don't think that's the case. I don't think that's the case. I think he is gonna do that in due time. And I want to believe that he has business with this woman.
Correction, Drake, Bobbi is no longer with WME. Drake is still with them, I believe. But Bobbi is no longer with them as of late 2024, okay? So I don't know the connection anymore.
I will say the timing is still horrible, and reading the room is still not the thing that I've said about Drake, especially post beef. He's done accurately, but I don't know if he thinks he needs to or cares to read the room. But once I seen this, I was just like, even if you sign her podcast, brother, you need to fully complete the arc of you dropping your solo album, then doing it. Now, as far as Drake answering questions about some real shit, battle, he got to at some point. Got to. Like, you you've been very hip hop your entire career. That's why you've battled. You're going to have to speak about these things, not just only on a record when convenient. And yes, I do understand that we have unrealistic expectations for Drake compared to other artists, just because, for example, Kendrick went on a whole hate-a-thon and nobody says, he has to have a legit conversation about this stuff, because he just never does conversations. The thing with Drake, he's much more forward-facing. We see him doing much more content. We see his voice and his opinion being dispersed much more than, say, a Kendrick, so we expect more from him. But I'm gonna be honest with you, it's an overall gripe of the majority of artists. I'm hoping, and this is just my hope, right? So I'm going twofold. I believe this is a business move for Drake. Still ill-timed, but it's a business move. He has to own part of her podcast. If Drake don't own part of her podcast, I think he's an idiot. It's just no way that a woman that has been dejected from black culture and from urban culture and basically was starting to experience the effects of falling off, and maybe like they wanted to do a rebrand or whatever, or give her like a new like steroid shot. You're doing it twice for her, when essentially, if she was as talented or she was as demanded or wanted or cared for by the community or by the hip hop sphere, she would be supported. For him to do it twice, he has to own part of her podcast, her entertainment career, I believe. Okay?
The man said if he doesn't, he's an idiot. Those are some strong words.
Second of all, I don't, I'm not gonna jump on the bandwagon of people saying that Drake won't answer questions.
And by the way, it looked like Drake not with WME anymore either. My bad. I'm just wrong as hell today on this one.
About real shit. There is gonna become a time, and I believe that time, again, he could think differently, but I think that time is gonna be after the album's out. When that album's out, he gotta talk. Not exactly immediately, but it is time for you to do what you normally do. All these conversations we're used to, it's been a while, I guess. I believe after the album, you let the music do the talking, and then you come back around and you fill in the gaps. That's how I believe. Okay? So for the people who do have questions like, how do you feel about this? I feel Drake isn't reading the room properly, but I think Drake is doing business. Again, just like when people ask me about the Kick situation or why doesn't he stream with you? I don't think Drake wants to stream. I think Drake sees a lucrative dollar sign and he follows the dollar sign to do streaming. And I don't think Drake wants a podcast. I think Drake is podcasting for a business opportunity. I could be wrong, and I'm okay and open to stand possibly at the precipice of, hey, no, you're wrong. This nigga's just out of touch. But I don't believe that's what that is. Again, specifically because it's Bobbi Althoff, is puzzling to me, because it's making me say, it's not even about, are you going to do content with, say, a me or a Mealy Mall or something? It becomes, bro, you got to realize that hip-hop and urban culture has dejected this woman. They don't like her. They think she's condescending, ear-headed. They feel she's getting opportunities she doesn't deserve. They feel, even in whatever resolve they had with the Yachty situation, they feel like she's talking down to black artists who maybe she's looking at as, oh, y'all are stupid or y'all do silly shit. And it's one of the, those condescending type of things. I think Drake is shrewd enough to understand that. And if he continues to do stuff with her, or he's relaunching stuff with her, it gotta be a money play.
He don't care. He doesn't care. The shit that you trick yourself into thinking that Drake cares about when it comes to the rap culture, he doesn't care about it that much, beyond the money play and beyond what it does for him personally. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. Now, you validate him being your favorite rapper and him being able to go against other guys based on this image that you have of him or whatever you built of your idea of him in your head. And you highlight certain things as far as his abilities and stuff because he can rap good and he's had hit songs and he knows how to be a chameleon and get on trap beats and shit like that. So those things you hang your hat on and stuff like that. But Drake is an opportunist as far as an artist, a businessman. He's just an opportunist. He doesn't care about these finite details when it comes to the culture. He doesn't give a about that. He cares about what benefits him, and he knows he's able to slither in and out of these different cracks and different cultures because we talking about our culture, but there's another culture out there that he can easily slip into. And that's what he's doing right now. He doesn't give a about what we thinking and what we saying because he's realized he's been rejected, but he's not rejected over there. Those people that's been offending him the most, while you go back and forth and fight with us about your boy, it's some people that don't give a about this rap battle, and that's who he's catering to. They don't give a damn, and that's why he's moving the way he's moving. I think if he removed his want for validation from hip-hop culture, he would be able to survive as an artist just pleasing those folks. That's just the truth. But when you as a hip-hop media personality, you want to continue to champion your boy as your favorite rapper, and you can do that. But when you want to continue doing that, and this is the fuel that's been given to his detractors, it kind of hurts you in arguments, you feel me? So I understand your stance, but it's just, the man just don't give a damn that much, bro. He distracted what he wanted out of the culture. He just went in too deep in the battle that he wasn't supposed to get in for him to be able to keep his face clean enough. He went in too deep. So now he's in the end game. He's in the end game. This is the end game.
Right? Because obviously, and I'll be honest, like, nigga, if I could sign Bobbi Althoff, I would definitely do it, and I'd be on a podcast with her spinning and grinning too.
Oh, we know you signed Brittany Renner. You're trying to sign Brittany Renner. You was trying to sign Selena Powell. We know.
Because if whatever she gonna bring in, I'm gonna get my 30 or 40 or I don't know, maybe 50% for Drake, I could see it. But if he thinks this the move, he's out of touch. But I don't think that's it. I think it's business. And I'm pretty sure we'll figure it in due time. As soon as the podcast is dropped, we'll figure out what company owns it, who's distributing it, and we'll see if Drake has anything to do with it. And if he doesn't, mark me on record. I think he's stupid. Okay? So, that'll be my opinion on that.
Hey, man, I disagree with you on a lot of things. I agree with you on a lot of things. But if you're moving like this, I'll with it. Just tell the truth, man. You can like somebody's music and still tell the truth about some shit that they do or did and say you didn't like it. You've been doing that a lot lately, bro. I appreciate that. Man. But hey, just craziness going on in the culture. It's just some craziness. I just want to tap it with y'all, so y'all can see folks can't even fake the funk for Drake no more because they got to keep it real. They can't even fake the funk no more, man. But hey, let me know what you got to say in the comment section below. I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here though. This is another update with Stace. Yo.